We all love to watch the animals, right? It's so neat to see them out there in the wild, and we want to help them survive. And we're going to talk today about something called food plots, something new to me. Dennis Mudge is here, our natural resources and livestock agent. And Dennis, this is kind of a new topic to me. What are food plots? I mean, there's a food plot right there as far as I'm concerned.
Well, we think of this way of feeding wildlife, but today we're not talking about that, Tom. We're talking about actual food plots that you would plant to help wildlife have more food to eat.
Yeah. Now, are these big areas? I mean, big as what we have here?
These are primarily landowners. Sometimes there are people who lease property as well, and they would put in a plot to feed the wildlife in a larger way. But you could do it on a small scale too. If you had an acre, you could actually plant some of that.
Mm-hmm. So it's probably not something I'm going to do in my backyard.
Probably not.
But somebody has a bigger area, a farmer, for instance. Now, are they doing that so they can see the animals, or what are they doing it for?
For a lot of variety of reasons. The biggest reason is aesthetics, of course. There are also other types of things that go on as well. But, you know, wildlife have to eat just like everything else. Mm-hmm. And with loss of habitat that we have around here, an increase in the amount of food for the wildlife is a great idea. And you can go to the box stores, Tom, and buy bags of feed to put out. But sometimes that's not the best.
Sometimes not what they like.
Well, the problem is they're from nationwide packaging, and they're varieties not suited for Florida. And we've done research with the University of Florida. Now we know which varieties are better here. And so you need to check out those results before you put it in a plot so you get things that are right for Florida.
Yeah. I'm thinking about where I used to live when I was a kid. They bought up some of the farms and they made them preserves. Oh, yes. And they would put food plots out there. And they would put them out for the geese to come in during the winter time and everything. Really kind of neat. What do you have in your hand there? Is that a back scratcher?
It's well, the only part of a deer I had, Tom. We're talking about deer.
Yeah, this is one of the animals.
Sure, and also birds as well, turkeys especially, and dove. A different type of thing, though, for the birds, we're talking about seeds primarily. Mm-hmm. And for deer, it can be those seed plants, but also perennial peanut. Beautiful crop now in Florida. It's like Florida's alfalfa. It's beautiful green with the yellow flowers that are on it, and especially deer just love it and do so well with it.
The farmer going to do an acre, going to do a half an acre? How much would he do?
The answer is yes, and sometimes even more. And you can put in the seeds, varieties yourself, seeded varieties with a perennial peanut. You probably need a professional to come help you.
Okay, now what's the university's role in this? I know they're doing some research.
We have test plots that we've put out to see which ones the wildlife like, and also which varieties are going to make it best for Florida. And those are the varieties that we're recommending for people to put out so that they don't waste their money, because this can get pretty expensive.
So we're talking about maybe perennial peanut, and what are some of the other things?
Well, there's seeded varieties, some of the millets that we'll put out. If you've ever bought a feed in a store that for wildlife, you'll notice millet's one of the things in there in a large amount. And we have varieties of millet that you can grow in Florida right here and work out really well.
A lot of people may not know what millet is, but it's a grain that comes up and it's got a big seed head on it. Is that correct?
That's right. And those seeds are small, but birds really especially like them.
Yeah. Now, Dennis, do we do this year-round, or is it just something that's planted in the fall or the spring?
Most of it's annuals, with the exception of the perennial peanut, which is a perennial that will stay. It takes 3 years to establish it, so it's a long-term relationship. But the other plots, yes, they're annuals. We plant out for that year, and the animals come in and eat them, especially during the fall and sometimes the summer as well.
Now, if I'm interested in doing this, what are some final pointers that we got to remember?
The biggest thing to remember is make sure you get variety suited for Florida. Don't go throw your money away and get something not. And next, make sure you stop by our office, find out what are the best varieties recommended now with the university, and then maybe get some help preparing that soil. You want to be sure all the stuff you teach, Tom, pH is right fertilizer, all the same things, but this time for wildlife rather than for your garden.
It's a real science behind this.
That's right.
Yeah, so you have to fertilize it?
Yes, you do.
And make sure it stays moist and all those good things. Thank you, Dennis. Appreciate all the information you brought us. And if you're interested in more information on food plots, something new to me, might be new to you too, just give the Extension office a call and they'll be able to provide the information you need. And together, we may be able to save and protect the animals.